I was standing on my own land, 15 acres of lakefront that had been in my family for generations, when the queen of the HOA, Becky Harrison, marched up waving a fistful of paperwork like she was serving an eviction notice. "Your lake belongs to the community now," she screamed. And before I could even process that insanity, her crew started setting up tables for some massive party. Imagine thinking you could just commandeer a private lake because folks can see it from the road. 500 guests, she boasted monthly events weddings all right here. I almost laughed, but it was too surreal for humor. I mean, really, has your HOA ever tried to just steal your property? What Becky didn't realize was that my attorney was about to shatter her little empire. But right then, it was just me and my 16-year-old daughter Madison sitting on the dock my granddad built by hand back in '52. The water was calm, and for a moment life was simple. Madison was dreaming up her sweet 16 lanterns along the dock, some floating on the lake, just like Grandpa used to talk about. He once told me, "This lake is protected better than Fort Knox, son." I always thought he meant the deed, but I was about to find out how right he was. That peace shattered at 7:30 sharp. Car engines revving horns blaring our sanctuary suddenly invaded. There, blocking my driveway, was Becky, clipboard in hand, flanked by her lapdogs from the board. She called out my name like she was summoning me to court, already scribbling something down. "We need to discuss your lake." The way she said "your" with that smirk, let's just say it set every nerve on edge. She announced they'd voted at some emergency meeting. My lake, she said, was now the official venue for their summer gala. Full access starting Memorial Day weekend. I told her calmly, I swear this was private property. My family's since 1952. She just laughed, then whipped out a copy of the bylaws pointing to some visual amenity clause. According to her, if you could see water from the road, it was up for grabs. I called my best friend, Ryan, property law expert, never lost a fight, put him on speaker so Becky could hear. "That's complete nonsense, Nathan," he said. "Visual amenity is about maintenance, not access." Becky's face flushed, but she recovered, shoving blueprints at me, actual blueprints for a stage, tables, tents, even a parking lot sketched across my yard. It wasn't a party she was planning. It was a business, Sunset Ridge Waterfront Weddings, LLC, she said, waving county paperwork with a notary stamp that looked suspiciously fresh. She claimed the business license was legit. The plans were filed, and the community needed this. She even warned me to find another spot for Madison's birthday because the lake was going to be busy. When she finally left, Madison was almost in tears. "Dad, she can't do this right." I hugged her, told her nobody was taking our lake. But truth is, I felt a chill I couldn't shake. This was war. We started noticing things, fresh tire tracks to the dock, orange survey flags along our boundary. Our neighbors found the same. Tom had stakes in his backyard. Jennifer found footprints by her pool house. Someone was cataloging the whole neighborhood. As Madison and I walked the property, she reminded me of something Great-Grandpa used to say. "Land's only worth what you put into protecting it," never rang truer than that moment. The next morning we found our dock vandalized. Red spray paint screamed "Sweet 16, canceled. This lake is ours." Madison's hand-painted invitations, 127 of them ripped in half and nailed to every post. I've never seen my kid so crushed. I called the police, took photos for evidence, and decided it was time to dig into Becky's past. What I found? The HOA's waterfront weddings business had been up for 6 months. Photos of my lake everywhere, glowing fake reviews, a booking calendar with 9 weddings already scheduled, deposits marked paid. I needed backup, so I found Frank Rodriguez, the old HOA president, before Becky ousted him. He told me this was her MO target, a property harass the owner. Fake violations rack up fines until folks caved. She'd taken a garden from an old lady, a tennis court from another family, always hiding behind the HOA. Becky's game was systematic: identify, harass, profit. It got uglier. My neighbor, Carlos, suddenly wanted to help, asking way too many questions. Amy, another neighbor, whispered to me that she'd seen Carlos at Becky's house. Then the fine letters started coming, $500 a day for excessive algae growth photos taken at dawn, obviously by trespassers. Ryan's advice was to document everything. That night, motion sensors caught figures at my dock. Derek, Becky's treasurer, and 2 others measuring and photographing. I got it all on camera. Meanwhile, things went nuclear. Madison got bullied at school, her friends uninvited her from parties, rumors flying that we were selfish for not sharing the lake. The social pressure was just another weapon. Even as I called a neighborhood meeting and laid out the truth fraud threat stolen deposits, a few people still wondered if maybe Becky's plan would benefit everyone. That all changed after we uploaded the real story. Madison edited the footage showing Becky's trespass threats. Vandalism contrasted against her deep fake, which tried to paint me as violent. It went viral. The support rolled in. Other victims came forward from couples who'd paid Becky for weddings that would never happen to families harassed off their land. Then came the showdown. Becky tried to stage an eminent domain vote busing in red-shirted supporters from 3 counties over. My daughter, normally shy, stood up in front of the whole crowd sharing photos and stories from our family's history at the lake. Her courage flipped the room. Ryan exposed $75,000 missing from HOA coffers, exactly what Becky owed in gambling debts before her miraculous payment. Suddenly, even her supporters backed away. That night, security cameras caught Becky herself dressed in a wedding gown, pouring gasoline on my grandfather's dock lighter in hand. Only the morning dew stopped her from burning it down. The footage went straight to the police and the FBI, who'd already started sniffing around after the viral video. Turns out Becky was part of a multi-state fraud ring, scamming couples out of nearly $2 million. Her arrest made headlines. In court, it was like something out of a movie. Dozens of brides in wedding dresses testifying, old couples, pregnant women, everyone with a story of heartbreak and betrayal. Madison took the stand and reminded everyone, "This isn't about money, it's about family and the memories we build." The jury took less than an hour to find Becky guilty on every count. 5 years in prison, $200,000 in restitution, banned for life from ever running an HOA or anything remotely resembling one. Life moved on. The lake hosted Madison's Sweet 16 and Amy Wilson's wedding on the same sunlit day. Lanterns floated on the water. Laughter replaced suspicion. The new HOA board, run by Frank, rewrote the rules: no more overreach, no more secret meetings, every dime accounted for. Carlos, desperate to redeem himself, led the transparency committee, and the whole neighborhood started healing. As for Madison, she turned her pain into action, launching an app to help others fight HOA abuse. It exploded in popularity. She got accepted to Stanford Law, determined to defend people from Becky's of the world. Our lake, once the center of a battle, became a symbol of standing up for what matters. And honestly, that's all I ever wanted for my family. Funny thing is, just last week a new neighbor showed up with a clipboard talking about yoga classes by the lake. Madison and I just grinned and pointed to the cameras. "Let us tell you about Becky," I said, and watched her back away real quick. Some people never learn, but we're ready now. Cameras rolling, lawyers on speed dial, a whole community united. Because if there's one thing Becky taught us, it's that you can't let your guard down for a second when it comes to what you love. But hey, that's life. You fight for your home, you fight for your family, and sometimes when you win, you get to sit on your dock at sunset and know you did right. So tell me, has your HOA ever tried something this wild? Where do you draw the line between community and control? Let's hear your stories, because after all this, I'd say we've earned the right to speak our minds.